overnight, it seems like this kid has just gone from writing business to doing 500 something thousand a month himself in a team, right? The kid posts paychecks and he's super transparent. He posts wins, he posts milestones. You're not rich yet? Post about others winning around you. When people, like, there's studies that show that, like, when you throw in percentages and you collect the data from this resource, it draws attention to the legitimacy, and we live in an illegitimate world right now. Like, I live in Miami. I see people every single day make $1 million a year or are making millions of dollars a year, and all they post and all they're selling is cold plunge courses. What up, guys? So, super excited to rock with you guys.
How you feeling, bro?
I feel great, man. I feel awesome. I feel terrific. Aside from only having hearing in one ear. I recommend if you guys ever start sparring, getting into MMA or anything like that, don't fight like Antonio Brown with like CTE, but just put your head down. So, but I'll jump right in. I almost didn't make it today, guys, and not because of traffic, just because I also am in life insurance and I question all of my decisions once a day, just being in life insurance. So I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I'm excited to share on media how it's helped me. It's literally, I don't know if any of you ever worked in the captive space, but I would say, if you ever worked in the captive space, you basically survived like Vietnam, and I did for 7 years. And, with that being said, guys, I was able to make gross millions of dollars in the captive space. It was roughly a little over $7 million. And I started there when I was 18 years old, and all of that revenue came from, I'd say 95% of that revenue came from literally social media, utilizing social media. I was running ads when you guys were freshmen in high school or 8th graders, whatever it might be. You know what I mean? So it's like I was doing this when you guys were watching Dragon Ball Z or thinking about what girl or guy you're going to go out to the movies with. And I remember when I got one of my first recruits who actually went over, unfortunately he didn't come with you guys, but he's got some contracts with FFL. And I remember bringing him in when I was 19 years old, and it was an ad he responded to. We were running an agency meeting, and he slid up. I was door knocking in West Virginia. Did any of you guys ever sell door to door? Anything door to door? Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, best control.
Oh my God. Yeah, that also builds character. So, yeah, listen, newspaper. What the hell? what the helly? Between captive and door to door, that builds a lot of character. It builds a lot of resilience. So anytime people are like, "How do you still thug it out?" I was like, "Bro, you see how long I lasted in captive? You either shrivel up and die or you become an absolute beast." And that's insurance in general. But what I'm getting at, guys, to open up with is I ran an ad. It probably cost me a couple $100s, and it made me millions of dollars because that guy would go on to recruit, write millions of dollars of revenue. And similar, I had roughly like a 20-point take on that between bonus money, override, etc. And so Wiley's right when he tells you guys in regard to what holds people back. Now, I've got some things formatted because I don't have a lot of time, so I'm not going to just spit from the hip. I've spent the last 24 hours preparing for you guys on what to say, what not to say. So this is going to be titled From 10 to 100 Agents in 90 Days, because I left the captive space June of August of last year. Yeah, about August of last year, I left the captive space, and I didn't officially launch my little insurance company until January 16th. We started with 7 agents. We have 143 now, and we're projected to end the year with worst case 500. And that's with facing and like in a healthy competition with the greatest IMOs out there like FFL. You know what I mean? And that's with me taking 0 FFL people, no poaching from really any brokers. Where I really like to go is the captive space because that's my familiarity. So some of you guys are like, I hate poaching. I hate when people hit me up and they're from another brokerage because it's like we have the same carriers. They're just comp hoppers. They don't really work. You know what I mean? But somebody in the captive space hasn't truly been exposed to like what the real power is in the insurance space. And they're usually just like me, unfortunately, just full of Kool-Aid and hard to kind of enlighten. So hopefully this helps you save some people. So this is going to be titled From 10 to 100 Agents in 90 Days. So I don't know, is anybody around like 5, 10 agents and you just kind of feel stuck? Whether you've been there a month, a week, maybe a couple years. It took me a year. this should make you feel better. It took me a year to get one agent to stick in the insurance space. Now, granted, that was in the captive space and people were running wheel kits door to door. So obviously I could understand that. I'd probably rather still sell newspapers with whoever said that. But let me get into it. So why most agents never post? Wiley pretty much already talked on this, but I want to emphasize some other areas. Overthinking. You're constantly thinking to yourself, what do I post? Here's your solution. ChatGPT kills this excuse. Go into ChatGPT. If you don't have ChatGPT, then something's wrong with you. But literally just type in your situation, your goal. Help me come up with a 30 to 60 second clip on what to say and where I want to put it. I had a piece of content go viral 2-3 days ago, and I'll probably share towards the end on like what's working, but I'll tell you right now, it's ChatGPT. Utilizing ChatGPT on what to do, that kills that excuse for every single one of you. Oh, I don't know what to say. Well, I've been telling my agents have you used ChatGPT? And I kind of like in a nice way like to make people feel stupid, because why are you not using super intelligence? We're living in a day and age right now where it's like, if you guys came up in school and you had access to artificial intelligence, why would you not use it? You have one life. It's not a matter of like getting rich. It's a matter of saving time. That's true freedom. That's true wealth. Second thing is no credibility. I haven't made 20K in a month yet. I don't have Ronnie's paychecks. I don't have Wiley's paychecks. I don't have Tanner Mendelson's Urus. Show the journey. People love relatability. I spent the last, unfortunately, like the only Band-Aid in the captive space is they just overindulge in self-development, which is a good thing. I've read so many books. I can't tell you how many books I've read and all the useless information I have in my mind. But there's some great things that I did pull from all the self-development master I've become over the last 7 years being in the captive space. And here's something, guys. I studied great leaders, and I did biographies on every single president in the United States of America, and then I studied like 10 great leaders. And I found the thing that attracts people to most leaders is not your intelligence. It's not your strength. It's not how fast or funny you are. People love relatability. So as you become more like Ronnie, and as you become more like Wiley and Tanner and every single one of you that's crushing it, Ronnie Buchecha, he was just out here. We did a podcast. Shout out to him. As you elevate yourself in life, you separate. So those of you that are making a couple $1,000s a month right now and you want to jump off a cliff because you don't have Ronnie's life, you have the most power. And you're underestimating it because you're utilizing comparison to steal your joy, while others are using their comparison to encourage others. There's no other way to do it. Like people say, comparison's a thief of joy. Those are losers. You can either let it steal your joy or encourage you to find more joy and to share that with others. So get that credibility crap out of your mind. You have the credibility. You're a human being. You're in the United States of America. You have opportunity. So the solution to that is show your journey. The third piece, validation addiction. What will people think? And I don't need to go deep into that because Wiley and Ronnie hit on that perfectly. They're not paying your rent. They're not paying your bills. They're not going to take care of you when you're dying. There's two people you need to impress. Your 8-year-old self and your 80-year-old self. That's the only people, like that little boy, that little girl that had all the dreams in the world and nobody could tell you anything. And then it's going to be you 80, 90, 100 years old on your deathbed. And you're not thinking about how much money you have saved. You're not thinking about all your assets. You're not thinking about all your liabilities. You're thinking about the relationships. You're thinking about the memories. You're thinking about the legacy. That's what you're thinking about, guys. So get out of your mind. Oh, what's people going to do? Brother, ChatGPT, show the journey. They're not paying your bills. They're not going to be with you when you're at your deathbed, more than likely. Silence online is invisible in recruiting. It's not the best team that wins. It's not the guys with the best systems. It's not the guys with the best tech. You guys know there's people out there that have better systems and better tech than all of us. And you guys crush them, and I'm going to crush them. You know why? It's not the best product. It's the best known product. It's not the best salesman. It's the best known salesman. The guy that sells more than you and can barely speak English just gets in front of more human beings. The guy that recruits more than you and doesn't have the car and isn't as cool looking or isn't as funny as you just gets in front of more human beings, takes more shots. In sports, in video games, like Call of Duty, what do they have? Like the KDR? Some of you guys might rip some games. Or like in sports, you go up to bat, like at bat and different things like that, your batting average, it's like a 300% or something, or 30%. I don't know what it would be in baseball that like sends you to the Hall of Fame. Isn't like a 300 batting average sends you to the Hall of Fame? Guys, it doesn't count against you in sales. It doesn't count against you in building your business. Like there is no like batting average where someone's looking at you and being like, oh, okay, well, your close percentage, your recruiting percentage. No, you can go up to bat as many times as you want. And the individual that is more frequent and more intentional in doing so makes more. Super simple. So here, let's go over the 3 pillars of life insurance content. Number 1, this is exactly what I've done and how I killed people in the captive space. And people will be like, how am I losing my brokerage boys to the will kit land? Here's how I was stealing people day and night into a worse opportunity with less comp, horrible resources, no ownership. Here's how I did it. Number 1, I posted paychecks. One thing you can't deny is a paycheck. I was getting paid and I was getting a few people paid in the captive space. And there's still people out there that do that. Like if you guys lose people to the captive world, it's because they do this. They're posting results. Here's why Tanner blew up. I remember I started giving you guys some advice in social media, and listen, between your guys' systems and everything you got with Ronnie Wiley, that's all of it. Tanner's super coachable, and I remember telling him post paychecks. Overnight, it seems like this kid has just gone from writing business to doing 500-something thousand a month himself in a team, right? The kid posts paychecks, and he's super transparent. He posts wins, he posts milestones. You're not rich yet? Post about others winning around you. I promise you, you posting about Tanner doesn't take away from you. You posting about Ronnie, Wiley, all the individuals killing it and crushing it doesn't. Hey, we are with these guys. We're business partners with these guys and these girls. Number 2, education. So here's what's been working for me this past month. I've probably gotten 1 million+ views across all platforms this past month just posting about education. Teach how I made 5K off one lead. Teach how you made 30K this month through overrides and team development. Teach how you are doing it. Give the education. And again, I go back to ChatGPT because you want to cite data. The more data that you can cite and you can incorporate through not only your own business, but also in the life insurance space, the more credible you become. When people there's studies that show that when you throw in percentages and you collected data from this resource, it draws attention to the legitimacy, and we live in an illegitimate world right now. I live in Miami. I see people every single day make $1 million a year or are making millions of dollars a year, and all they post and all they're selling is cold plunge courses. You sell money and you're building a legitimate business and you're not going to make $1 million this year, someone out there is selling a cold plunge course making more than you. That's the thought process for me. You're not educating. You're not you should get pissed off. That's where my comparison comes in, and I get encouraged. It's not like my life gets oh man, I'm so depressed. How'd that guy make $1 million this year? He sold cold plunge water. No, I'm in a legitimate business model with legitimate ownership. What are we talking about here? Very distinguishable. So use ChatGPT for daily hooks and content ideas. Guess what, guys? You need hooks. You need content ideas. You don't need to sit there and spend 12 hours or 8 hours. I love that. It's great for the story and the stage. But I tell you this, you don't get to Ronnie's place, you don't get to Wiley's place by making the same mistake over and over again. That's called insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a new result. That's called me spending 7 years in the captive space. So I'll tell you this much. If you don't use intelligence, you will work for the guy that does. You will work for the girl that does. If that doesn't hit you in the soul, then you don't care and you should hop off the call. Because you're not going to be in this space much longer. And I'm not going to apologize to Wiley or Ronnie for saying that. I know 1,000%. I know what failure looks like. It looks like lack of passion, and lack of passion leads to lack of intention. And without intention, showing up isn't going to get you paid. You might get by today, you might get by next week, next month, but you will not, let alone you won't thrive, you won't survive. You'll work for the guy that's intentional and passionate. Make it so simple that a nurse or a barber would get it. That's it, guys. Make it simple. I'm always looking to simplify my content. And this is real data. Again, everything I give you guys is how I source and how I generate revenue. I simplify everything. I spent all this time reading books and wanting to sound more intelligent because I remember growing up, both my parents in jail, and feeling like I was dumb and getting called dumb and bullied and all different things like that. And so I was I fell in love with the self-development culture because I was if I could just use really big words and be super smart, then I'll prove to everyone that I'm not dumb. I'm a smart guy. You know what I mean? And then I've come to find out that the average reading level in America is less than an 8th grade level. And what I found was in sales, when you make people feel stupid, you don't persuade them. You don't close the girl that you make feel less than. You don't close the guy that you make feel less than. You know who are the best closers? The people that build up your ego. And they do it right in front of your face without you even realizing it, that they're about to close you. Saying people's, have you guys ever read, here's a book you guys should read, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Incorporate that into your contact. Do you guys say people's names? Do you smile? Do you make them feel good about themselves? For those of you that are transitioning people and not converting, when you're transitioning from content and converting them into your DM, but they're not converting into hires and not converting into good people, you're dropping the ball there. So like the content's half of it, but the rest is going to be the development. Entertainment. Here's the third pace. I like to entertain people, but I do a variation of all these. So I don't go too hard on educating and tearing down the captive space because I don't want to be looked at as like the ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend that's just a hater. I don't go too hard on results because I don't want to look like we're just pushing money and that's all we care about. My third favorite place is entertainment. I love making people laugh. I love making people laugh. We live in a world full of darkness and pain. If you're not bringing light and laughter, you're going to get left behind. You're a part of the pain. You're a part of the darkness. Like, get a little unserious sometimes, guys. I like to be real. I like to be funny. I like to incorporate whatever it is that I'm like, yeah, I got videos that go viral. People will DM me all the time like, can I get hired, Chief Coach Master, sir? And they're dead ass serious. Like, I make fun of having, you know, the weird meetings and the captive culty space, and guys will hit me up. Girls will hit me up wanting a job because of, like, I'll get more engagement on my entertainment content more than the paycheck, more than the education. Because they're like, I love it. You're making fun of the space that you're in. You're making fun of yourself. I'm like, yeah, I think this is stupid. We all do this in the life insurance space, and I think it's funny. So I'm going to make fun of it. You want to come and work with us? Here's the qualification. That's another thing. There's standards. If you don't have standards, you're going to build a debt-based business. If you just let anybody and everybody into your business, you're building a debt-based business. When I hear people say, I got thousands of interviews, that girl better only hire 10, 20%. Reason being is you hire those potatoes, that's what leads to the debt. That's what and it's not even just the money debt, it's the life debt. Anybody ever had to deal with somebody that you hired and they sucked the life out of you? It wasn't worth the override? It's never worth the override when you're dealing with an idiot. If you can get a gut feeling that says, dog, I do not want to work with this person. Not because I'm lazy, not because I have ego, but my goodness, they just give potato vibes, bro. Like, this is going to be someone that sits here and basically just needs to go put the fries in the bag. Can't work with the potato, bro. Okay, so let's go into the execution plan as we wrap up. All right, 90-day execution plan. Daily. Here's what I need you guys to do, and I'll send this to Wiley and Ronnie so they can send it out to you guys. I need you to post one video, results or education. DM 5 qualified people per day. If you don't know the qualifications to get into your business, guess what I'm going to tell you? ChatGPT. But I guarantee you, Ronnie and Wiley are probably equal in your guys' business to be your own ChatGPT. You guys can text them and be like, hey, what are the qualifications I should look for? You know, carriers drop people based off quality of production. I'd start there. I ask people before they want to come work with me, even from the captive space, I'm like, what would your quality look like? Because someone that's just a potato is a potato everywhere they go. You know what I mean? Like, if somehow you couldn't get some business to stick over there, you're not going to get business to stick over here. Go back to McDonald's. Third piece, use ChatGPT to create hooks and captions. So don't sit there, and I don't want to hear anybody say, I spent 10 hours. Let that happen once. If it happens twice, 3 times, you're being a potato. There's no other way to put it. Weekly, I need you to batch record 7 reels. So that means on Sunday, Saturday, whatever day you want to do it, you're going to record 7 reels, and you want to keep them under 60 seconds. You're going to use ChatGPT. It's going to help you formulate these reels. The best thing is you guys can recreate the same reel. One that goes really viral, you can recreate it in a new setting. What's that mean? Don't overcomplicate this. That means something went viral. Next week or the week after, you're going to post it again wearing a different color shirt, different sunglasses, outside, inside. Maybe you change a couple words, not much. Like my girl's content goes super viral. Sometimes she just recreates stuff. So goes viral, recreate it. Don't try to fix the system that's not broken. Post stats and growth and go live once. That's something I'm not seeing you guys do. And that's the next piece. You just go live. I can't tell you how many times I've gone live. 2 people are on or 1,000 people are on. I didn't let ego get in my mind and prevent me from either making a sale, from selling a product or service, or secondly, getting a recruit. I've gotten them. Here's what I don't need you doing. No dancing and pointing at captions, being weird, a potato, no fake flexing. Don't fake it till you make it. Just be honest, share the journey. If you don't have it, here's who does have it. Here's where I'm at, relatability. Don't quit because a post flopped. That's it. So guys, closing out, if your Instagram isn't recruiting while you sleep, you don't have a pipeline, you have a personality problem, and more importantly, you're not using social media, it's using you. Those are potato habits. Those are loser habits. Why would you as a man, why would you as a woman, as an alpha, as a creator, as an entrepreneur, let something use you more than you're using it? That's weakness. It's disgusting. Don't let that be you. Don't let that associate you with you whatsoever. So the final thing I'll leave you guys with, because we don't have time for Q&A, you guys can please reach out if you guys want to do any podcasts, you want to do any content, you want any help, run it by Ronnie and Wiley. Make sure you qualify to even, do that with me. But the final thing I'll leave you guys with, from being in the Catholic space as long as I was, is it's never too late. Because sometimes, I don't know if anybody can relate, where you feel like you've just made mistakes or you just did something for so long and you feel stupid. And I'm just being vulnerable with you guys. It's never too late to say like, F that. It's time to recreate, reinvent myself and humble yourself. Because if you don't humble yourself, and I don't know what all you guys believe in, God will humble you. The world will humble you. And it's going to humble you in the fact of you'll be 80 years old reflecting on your life full of regret. So whether that's you're 24, 34, 44, 18 years old and you're watching this, you're like, I've been doing the wrong thing. I haven't been posting. I haven't been creating content, or I've been doing it half-heartedly, not intentionally. Because I know people that show up and are like, well, bro, I've been posting for years. Bro, you've been posting the same thing over and over again with no intentionality, no research, no data. You don't care. You're trying to scam the system. You can't scam and shortcut the system. You can't scam and shortcut the world and God. What you put in is what you get out. So that's what I got for you guys today. I will send everything that I talked about today over to Wiley and Ronnie, so they'll have all of that. And if I missed anything, that's all I got. I have to hop off, but Wiley, Ronnie, every single one of you, All-Star Life Group, Playbook Agencies, the agency that you guys are all building together collaboratively. If I missed out on highlighting anybody that's crushing it, I pray you guys continue to be well and be blessed in Jesus' name. And also, alhamdulillah, to all of my Muslim friends as well, and anybody with any beliefs. So blessings to all of you guys.
Baby, come on, guys. Show some freaking love.
Yes.
Go.
Thank you guys so much. Be blessed.